Any other injuries besides Tonga and Henderson and Krewatch?
Don't think so.
Just your normal run-of-the-mill aches and pains?
Right, we just got to hopefully continue to get guys healthy.
I was looking at the stats. It looks like Tyler Heather is a better quarterback this year than he was last year, but he's got some pretty decent weapons too.
Mm-hmm. Again, a fifth-year quarterback. You know, you look at the fifth-year quarterbacks, you know, the senior quarterbacks at Edinburgh. Tyler, had we had one, those are the guys that are, teams are pretty successful. But he's, you know, he's much improved, and then he does have, and he really had some of the same weapons a year ago. I think the move of Haygood to running back has helped them, gives them a more dynamic runner. At wide receiver, he was great with the reverse. He was great catching the short things and the swings and the bubbles and the jails, but he really had a hard time down the field just because of his height. And now, you know, having Foradora and number 8, what's his name? Jocks Robinson. Those two are really, really good receivers. And the other two are solid. But the whole offensive line is back. The tight ends back. I mean, almost everybody they played against us a year ago is there on offense. And other than the tailback, Emmanuel. And in some ways, you would have thought Emmanuel was better, but he isn't. This kid's been more productive as a runner. In fact, we're going to have HB Blades, our little guy, take his spot in the scout team, and Houghton Bailey. Yeah.
Is Hogarth's height an issue for you guys? I mean, it's
hard
to find him, isn't it?
Yeah, and you would think somebody with his quickness and speed would be a great outside runner. He's a great inside runner. And their offensive line is huge. I mean, they are tall, they're wide. It is really hard to locate him. But he's an inside guy. You know, inside zone is his #1 play. They'll run power and counter, but all the big gains have been broken inside. They're not outside plays.
I mean, Clarence is probably the best season in a couple of years. But while you beating them last year, 66-16, did you think in the back of your head that this could be a pretty good team down the line? This could be a serious contender if they could fix some things here and there, or was it?
Yeah, I think we all felt that they had the skill to do it. Unlike Lockhaven, who didn't have a speed guy, they didn't have those kind of people. You wondered perhaps why, you know, things didn't come together for them, but they've just had more time. They've had more time together. I think they're doing a good job coaching, and the quarterback's really been efficient for him. He gets rid of the ball. I mean, it's really hard to sack him. Now we were all over him a year ago. I mean, he ran for his life and threw off his back foot, and now he's getting the ball off in time. Very few people have been able to get any pressure on him.
For as long as Jay Foster was with Slippery Rock, does he do anything that looks like Slippery Rock? I mean, I never see like the one-back set on offense, but on defense, same scheme-wise?
No, they're different. I think they're different on both sides. Offensively, they are a one-back like Slippery Rock, but they're totally different in terms of concepts, passing concepts. Yeah, I think they're much different on both sides.
Saturday I'd asked you if just winning was a good thing. And
no telling what I said Saturday.
Yeah, you were drugged up. I mean, you guys needed to win so badly, but to get it against a team like that, does it just help as maybe being declaring?
Oh, it helps. Well, I mean, winning 2 in a row and beating Clarion would help even more. But I think Matt, where it helps is that we played really well. It wasn't like we slopped around and won a game. I mean, that game could have been 28-14 game too. It could have been a 35-14 game. We could have slopped around, but I thought there was such focus that they just weren't going to let that happen. Because we didn't do everything perfectly. I mean, we turned the ball over several times. Quasi dropped the punt on what I still think is a terrible rule we tried to get changed 2 years ago, and it hasn't been changed yet. But there were plenty of opportunities to let down, and even when the second guys go in, because most of our defensive players played about 30 plays, our starters, and most of our second team guys probably played 14 to 15 plays, and then we had third team guys who played as well, and none of them just gave up plays. So I think that was the real positive. Everybody got to play. Guys performed responsibly, and we won. So.
Are you concerned at all about any extracurricular activities during the game? As far as
I don't think Jay and I talked about that, last time. And I don't know if you've noticed, but ever since that game, we warm up with our backs to our opponent.
Yeah.
And that's what precipitated that. And so we'll do the same thing. And so when there are any cheers of any kind from any opponent, we're less likely to hear them or be that close to them.
You heard something coming from IUP?
What's that?
You heard something coming from IUP itself? Just extra pushing and shoving. If that does occur during pregame.
I think we'll be far enough apart, but that probably won't happen. You never can tell. But I don't sense that. And we also have coaches at the 50.
Yeah.
But hopefully we're through that. I mean, we haven't had that with anybody else. We haven't had that with Cal, and that's certainly a rivalry with Edinburgh, with Slippery Rock, and they're all,
Were you aware of some stuff at the end of the Lock Haven game?
Just 2 players, that's all there was one of our players who competed pretty hard against one of their players. I saw them jaw, that was it, and I tried to separate that. That's the only thing I saw, so there may have been more, I don't know.
Vaughn and I heard, I wouldn't have said the kid threatened to come here and kill Abe. He said, I'm coming to IEP and I'm going to get you.
Wow.
I will find you.
Yeah. Number 1.
Yeah, that's the guy he was.
And then Abe.
Talking to Abe, yeah.
Abe went nuts and went after him. And
I did not know what precipitated it. I just saw Abe, and I said that he was the guy who was they punted to him so he would take a quasi. And knowing that, we switched in the week, we switched corners and put Abe on him to protect quasi. And Abe actually got a holding penalty against him once. And of all the penalties we've had, I understood that the most just because of the kind of effort he was putting into it. But I thought he did a great job with it. But I didn't know he threatened them.
maybe that's all there was, just frustration from
Yeah, could be. Hopefully that's.
I mean,